You don't have
Let
to.
me ask now, Robbie Rob, I believe you might have spent a little penny or two on Helldivers 2. So have you done
We
this?
wanted-
What has been your experience?
Well, as a well-known super citizen myself, I have to say that that extra $20
The gold cape.
it did give me some nice little extra cosmetics that you guys didn't get. I got 200 of those super credits. I'm gonna hold out until everything unlocks, and I'll decide what I want to get
Smart.
with them.
Smart.
Mhm.
And I got the little the Stratagen game on my ship, so when I go in, I can actually
Right.
practice hitting the buttons for my stratagems, and it lets
Oh,
you
that's what it's for.
That's
Yes.
what
No
it is.
way!
Ah,
on-
wow.
on your guys' ship, it's inactive. On mine, I can actually go up to it, and it gives you like a timer, and you got to hit the stratagems as fast as
Yeah.
you can. So that's why I'm getting good
That's
at that.
great practice, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you have to stop and set those things and look what they are. I've gotten killed numerous times already.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well, 'cause
Trying to do that.
and you're in the heat of battle. Like
Right.
And you're
trying
having
to
to,
do
and you're
these
having
codes.
to tap these. Yeah, you're having to tap in these codes as fast
Right.
as possible. And for
Yeah.
those that don't know out there, yeah, those stratagems that you have to employ specific items before you jump in, and then you can call in those items,
Yeah.
pushing left, right, up, down while you're
Yeah.
trying to in the middle of a heated battle. So it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
So-
and you'll call down like a
yeah.
turret or like a
Yeah.
respawn or a resupply. But you're
Or
right.
an
You're heading
entire
you're like
barrage.
left, right, up, right, left, and then meanwhile
That's
there's
tough.
this horde of bugs just coming at you. It's so intense. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The way the game works, it really does kind of simulate the experience, because basically it starts out with a 10-second timer, and every
Mhm.
time you hit the strategy right, it gives you a second back, and you just got to keep going, and see how many you can hit before the
Interesting.
time
Mhm.
expires.
How neat.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That might be worth. I mean, come on, guys. I mean,
Extra $20.
That's
practice.
got you. That's
I
got
I
you.
mean, I gotta admit that's a bit of a hook and hold right there.
training.
All right,
That's-
it's training, right?
Rob is gonna
Yeah.
be our guy for stratagems and be like, Rob, you gotta call this in, that super advanced code.
Yeah.
Right.
You've been practicing that all day, right? People are having to dial in these crazy combos really fast.
It adds to the
make it-
stress level for
It
sure.
does. It's like this
You know?
sweaty palm moment. And you got
Yeah.
that person who's like Rob, who paid the extra money, who's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, I've got this, guys. Don't worry about it. We're gonna
Yeah.
call in that airstrike and we'll get out of here, no problem. Yeah.
It's really just a smart gameplay loop. You've got the intensity of first-person shooter, right? You've got the action of the battle and all that, and then the devs were like, how can we add just another
Yes.
layer of chaos on top of that? And it really nails it. It nails it. It's
Yeah.
so stressful when
Yes.
it happens. It's
but in a
great.
good way, but in a good
Yeah.
stressful way.
The fun factor of the game. Is it fun? Absolutely.
Yeah.
This game
Yeah.
is a whole lot of fun. And I think Coltrane's got a story for us. I think we're going to hear that. And then let's talk
Yes.
a little about
Oh,
then,
boy.
what
Shall we
aspects
do
we,
it?
really enjoy.
Shall we do a countdown, Coltrane, to fun?
All right. Here's the countdown to fun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Helldive. Yes. So we were actually doing that on the ship right before the drop pods.
Yeah.
Everyone got in the drop pods. We would all salute,
Like-
and then I would go 3, 2, 1, and then we would all
Amazing.
get it, and it'd be in sync. And
Which
it's
we're
just
going to
so
do right
fun.
when we leave here.
And just to add real
Yeah.
quick to the fun factor, when you drop out of those drop pods from your capital ship and you're hell diving to the planet and you're
Yeah.
just rocketing towards the planet and the music's like this like this Starship Troopers type music, it's incredible.
Man, I couldn't have asked for a better merger of Anthem and Outriders. And that's what I had talked about in my
interesting.
video, that I felt like I had a hole in my heart with,
Yep.
in the shape of those games.
Mhm.
And while I'll sit here and say, like, it's not the best third person I've played in terms of just the overall feel, that's not what I'm looking for here. We're looking for a game that we talked about, that couch co-op experience that we could just get in. It's easy to get into, and we get straight to the fun. Yeah, the
Mhm.
maps aren't huge, there isn't any of that, but you know what you're there to do, and it's to just slay some enemies and shoot some guns and just hang out with your friends. And it delivers just that.
One thing the devs did that they added these little elements of chaos and fun that aren't immediately noticeable, like entering the codes, the up, left, right, in the middle of the battle. Another one too is you've got these bug holes where all these bugs come out, right? And in order to close the hole, you have to chuck a grenade into the hole to close it, so no more bugs come out. Well, what's amazing about it is not only do you have to aim it, but I don't know how many times I'd throw it, and then a bug would come out and it would bounce off its head and bounce off.
Yes.
Right? And
So
like,
true.
no, right? It was like right there.
Yes.
Kobe.
But it adds that other layer of excitement and engaging and fun gameplay. Something as random as that is so subtle, but so huge in the moment. And also, too, that all of these servers are connected by this community. When you go to the world map and you can see the thousands, hundreds of thousands of other Helldivers fighting and where they are on the map and the progression that the community is making. And it looks like right now the overall community is focusing on the bugs, on Terminex or whatever. But there's a whole nother enemy, the automatons or whatever, which are androids. They look like Terminators and like AT-ATs and stuff. They got all these amazing units. And But right now the community seems focused on the bugs, so it's like at 80% clear at this point, like cleared at least the first section, and it's just going up each time. So it's kind of like this feeling of this sense of community, and as you complete difficult missions, it amps that up even more. So you feel like, yeah, like I did that for the community, like we're all in this together. It's like this little subtle thing that's added that makes it, a multiplayer experience. You know what I mean? Not just co-op, but like worldwide. You know what I mean? You're competing together. So the fun factor for me is through the roof.
I think the repetitive nature of it, the way the missions are, I think the gameplay makes up for that. The gameplay it was a little jarring at first. It felt off, but that as I play it, as I got the different guns, I felt that it had a sense of realism to it. Like it was weightiness. There was that inertia that we like. So the game has a realistic sense to it, even though it's absurd and comedic. The gameplay itself feels visceral, and I like it. Like you feel the bugs being hit and their shells cracked. It's like you can get in there. So it adds a level of immersion that these games don't typically have. And I see Rob over there. Rob's got the heavy armor, so he's trudging through the snow.
Yeah.
He's
sinking in the snow too.
I know. What sounds out for you, Rob?
Well, I'm not typically a shooter type of guy, but I think the fact that dying isn't such a big deal in this game.
It happens a lot.
Yes.
Live, die, repeat. Yes.
And I don't have to feel like, oh, I'm the only one dying here. I must be terrible. No, everybody's dying. There's bodies everywhere.
So especially when someone brings a mine. When we were playing with Mikey, and he brought these mines.
Oh my god!
And basically, what happens is you do the code right, up, left, right in the middle of battle, and it deploys this turret that it spins up and it starts spinning, and then mines, like thousands of mines, just start shooting out in the area. Well, he decided to drop that right in the middle of us, in the middle of the battle. And suddenly all of us just started getting blown up left and right. You couldn't take a step. There were mines everywhere. It was unbelievable.
I remember the stat sheet after it. It was like how many friendly kills you had. And it was us repeatedly landing on the mines. It's just stupid fun chaos.
Yep.
And it's just crazy. So as you can see, it has delivered that original experience we were all craving.
And there are these kind of random objectives, like you said, there's like hidden little items, little samples that you can collect, and you use these samples to upgrade your ship and that kind of thing. And there's a lot of these like secondary objectives that really aren't, you're not told about them. You just kind of discover them, or you'll just see them on the map. Like you'll go to this radar tower in the middle of this planet. There's this radar tower, and it just says, go to the terminal. Go to the terminal. It says you need to readjust the radar dish. You're like, what? So like one guy watches the monitor while the other person literally has to click and like turn it, and adjust the radar dish. Okay, it's even, and then launch it. You're good to go. And that's a secondary objective, which launches some beacon, and then you go to the beacon, and then you download that info, and that's another secondary objective. So there's all these kind of hidden little gems, these little spots that make you want to explore. that make you want to go out. What's that question mark up ahead? There's a red globe of something here. Like, what is this? Oh, that's a nest. That's a medium-sized nest, or there's a small-sized nest, or there's a big bug, in that large-sized nest. And I found myself looking at the map and just having fun. I wasn't so focused on just the primary objective. That's key, especially in the higher difficulties, because the timer, you're under a time limit. But you really start like, what else is there? What else can I do here? And it just gives you more XP, more currency, more everything that you can use to unlock more amazing items as you level up.
Me and Scott and Mikey did one of those side missions earlier today, and it was just setting up or bringing up a bomb out of a silo. It shot out. There was a giant mushroom cloud in the background.
Oh yeah. It was crazy.
We basically launched a nuke. To another side of the map. It was
like
insane.
Almost feel the wind coming from it. It was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Some of the visuals in this game are stunning. I don't know if you guys have played the Fog Planet yet. Like, there's
oh my god,
it was horrifying. The bugs were just coming out. It was like the Mist movie.
You can't
it was
see them
so
until
creepy.
Like 5 feet in front of you.
Last second. Yep.
It's those little things. I'm telling you, it's really the little things at the end of the day that bring a game to life in its fullest potential. So does it respect our time? I mean, it's not a looter shooter. It's you go in and you earn rewards through playing the game. So it feels like the time you put into it is worth it. Your investment is solid because you're not having to run the same stuff and still be looking for drops. It's like, here's what you get. Here's what you can earn and build your character up and your team gameplay. And you just go through this as you play. You earn what the time you put in, you get rewarded for. And I like that. What do you guys think?
One thing that I wanted to note, Scott, is that one item that I really liked from Deep Rock Galactic that they brought over was exactly how long these missions are going to take, whether it's a 10-minute mission or it's a 40-minute mission. Okay, going in, and Monster Hunter World does this, and Monster Hunter in general, where they set, okay, you have 50 minutes to finish your mission. You go, okay, I have 50 minutes. I have from here until work starts. Okay, great. I can get this. I can lock this in and finish it.
Yeah.
Or if I have a 10-minute, okay, I can do a 10-minute run real quick.
Here's a real life example, Chase. Just in 2 hours ago, Mikey was on briefly. We played a match, and then he's like, my kid's waking up. I gotta go. Oh, here's a 10-minute mission. We just knocked it out real quick, and then he was off. Like, and we got another round in. It was fun.
Prime example of respecting time. It's like you got to know at least some idea of how long, because you think MMO raids, you never know how long those could go forever, and you just never know,
Yeah.
So it's just, this is a different type of game, obviously, but it does let you know up front. It's very, very transparent.
They even go even beyond that. Like if two or three people are already in a mission, I could just jump on and drop down halfway through and be like, hey.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. If you're having trouble or, it's just the two of you or a squad mate drops, you can launch this SOS beacon and it'll signal to like the multiplayer area for somebody that they can drop in and then help you out and complete that mission. So I did that too. I did like a quick match where I just responded to someone's SOS, dropped in and helped them complete the mission. And then I get rewards as well. And it's quick. You know what I mean? It's that in and out game.
And if your friends are already in the middle of a game, you can drop in on them. And it's cool because their ship flies over. It's like, so-and-so has entered orbit. And then here they come flying down in the pod. It's like, all right. It's just cool, man. It's better than seeing your friend on Steam just like show up in the game randomly. It's like, oh, there's my avatar. It's like, no, I'm about to get an announcement on my way down to this planet. Yeah, it's awesome.
And all of us were just cheering every time we would get in those pods and launch we were just like laughing, like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like something as simple as a loading screen, knowing that we're hell diving to the planet all together. The music's like, bah, 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 and you're like, yeah. Like, oh man,
it's metal for sure.
It is.
It really is.
The launch, let's touch on that real quickly. It had issues like all launches seem to do these days, but kudos to the developer. I think we were satisfied. Not much to say there. It had some errors. They fixed it. Good job on them. And
they
now
had
it's playable.
They had like an 18 gig patch.
Yeah. Within like 6 hours of launch. I mean, that's insane. Like
18 gigs.
And it resolved 90% of the issues. I would say it was crazy.
Like this gives me hope going forward, right? These guys
Yeah.
care about the game. They put out a solid product and they're going to
Yep.
deliver. And hopefully they just keep going into the future with that mentality. So lastly then, things we'd like to see improved. Any things that have happened or not happened that you're like, oh, I wish this was a feature, and what can we improve?
Yeah, I had an item down. I would love to see something connecting two different groups of 4-player groups. So basically having some
Mm,
overlapping biomes, if you will. So having like somebody's in a mission and then all of a sudden they end up in the same mission with the other person. They're on the same planet, so they end up on the same mission at the same time or something, where now you have an 8-player party that's like going for the same mission. So maybe there's some more interplay there between how it ends up, because I've got now probably 10 friends who want to play this game and there's only 4 spots, so we have to rotate, we have to think about these. It really could be cool if they can do some level of a larger map, or maybe it's just like, hey, now we're going to merge these two. I don't know, because the dev feels like they're very active in the community and they feel like they're going to do some really special things with that. That would be amazing to have that element of like real connected 4-player,
yeah.
but I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't know if it's built into it, but
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
You know?
and the only thing I would ask for is more of a variety of enemies, but remember, we're only on like the first section of the bug area, right?
Oh yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
discovered these bugs that can cloak, like these
Yes.
assassin bugs that like
That was
two-shot
rad.
you. They're insane.
Annoying.
I'm sure that as we develop in this campaign, remember the community is just in that first level. As we
Mhm.
get to level 2, level 3, I'm sure
Mhm.
they're going to have like flying bugs. I'm sure they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have bugs that tunnel. There could be some major boss bug at the end that maybe requires 8 or 16
Maybe.
players to take down some major boss bug
Ah,
when we get to the heart
Yeah.
of the
the
bug
brain
planet.
bug.
The
brain
brain
bug.
bug. Exactly. So
It's
just
afraid.
it's afraid.
Oh
But
my gosh.
I believe in these devs, and I think a lot of people do. And there's something about that fire of that kind
Mhm.
of indie dev mindset, and this is blowing up for them, and this is huge. And Helldivers 1, I loved, but it was kind of a sleeper hit. Not many people
Yeah.
It
played
was.
Helldivers 1, but you see that same love, that same passion, and I'm so ecstatic that they're bringing it to Helldivers 2. But Rob, when you're thinking, because you're a bit of a veteran here. Well, what I mean, my gosh, you're a true Helldiver. You're a super citizen.
He's a super citizen. You get it
Yes.
right,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
What would you change? What would you like to see added or changed?
2 things actually I would like to see added. Maybe some type of melee weapon. There's like a melee action where you basically like either kick or hit him with the butt of your gun,
It's
but
pretty janky.
maybe either fix that or make it a little more worth using. And then right now, I think the only type of dodge is like a giant jump to the side. Maybe like a quick evade type of move. I get like surrounded. I need to find a little bit of a better way out than just Superman diving it to the floor.
I just thought of what would be a fun gameplay element that they could add? Vehicles.
Yeah.
It would.
They're gonna add vehicles. They had
Right?
The
mechs.
maps would have to be bigger.
They
Yeah.
showed mechs in that trailer. So
They did. That's true. They did.
You're
they showed a
right.
mech, right? That flash.
There
at
might
the
be
end.
vehicle mechs towards endgame. Yeah.
This is
I actually did read that they are going to bring mechs in, but it's going to be like a
Yes.
few months later.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably gonna do bigger maps with the mechs. I'm almost certain, but oh my god, I am so hyped about that. Yeah, but more vehicles. But to your point, Coltrane, like the other APCs and the other, the tanks themselves. I know that the Helldivers ones, I never played it, had multitudes of vehicles. So
I'm almost thinking, even if you had like a big truck with like a big spikes on the front of it, and you could just mow down these bugs, and your teammates as well, by the way. But you could just drive through them. Like how amazing would that feel?
Something straight at it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and somebody on the back on like a turreted machine gun. As you're just mowing through these hordes of enemies. Like it could be cool.
The couple things that I'd like to see improved is the movement of the characters a little more.
The animations
just talked
too,
about that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the animations a bit more refined. I'd like to see maybe a slide type ability. Just I know it doesn't have jumping. I know we established Remnant doesn't either. This game, I don't know. I think it might take away from the realism that I brought up earlier. That's what gives it its unique feel. So I think adding those would make it more mainstream.
Arcadey.
Yeah, and it would just I think that's part of its charm is
Yeah.
and it makes it unique. So I would just a few improvements there. Second, I'd like to see. I'm a big guy on aesthetics, character customization. I'd like to. I was really disappointed with how basic it was. It'd be fun to be a really tall, skinny one or a little short, roly poly guy. I don't know. Just it's already comedic. Why not add those things? Make them
Or more
make 'em
voices,
fun.
more voices.
More voices. Yeah.
Get
and,
Coltrane in there. Just have him doing voices.
Have
all
you
the-
do
all
it,
the-
Chase. Come on.
all the armor is already colored, so I'd like to be able to customize our colors on it, maybe, but perhaps that would take away from their battle passes. So I don't know, anything they could add to customization to spike it up a little bit, and I think that would be a nice addition. Not necessary, but nice.
They could do clans as well, and you could get your clan logo, your
Yeah.
clan
That's a great
colors.
one too.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah,
they already
that'd be
have the
fun.
capes. They could be just capes. Literally, your
Oh,
capes
yeah.
could have your. Oh my god.
Totally.
Oh,
and you got your
yeah.
your uniform, and everyone all looks
Oh.
the same, and like, oh
Jeez.
man.